What's up, guys? What is up, guys? So hopefully you guys consider subscribing. It's alright if you guys don't. But we're gonna be reacting to The Harsh Reality of Being 800 Pounds by Dr. Mike. Full credit goes to him. So just enjoy and subscribe.
You're gonna die pretty soon.
Today we're watching Family by the Ton. I'm not gonna lie, not a huge fan of the title, but let's see what the show has to offer and learn something along in the process. Let's get started.
I was just eating till I'm dead, probably. A normal day for me is wake up around 12, figure out something I'm gonna eat immediately. TV, video games, bed.
So it's interesting that you see him drying himself off with a towel in that specific way. When you have excessive body weight and you have excess skin, excess fat tissue, you have to be really thorough about drying yourself because it's really easy for a candida infection to begin.
Candida is a yeast, or whatever that is, that normally lives on the body, but overgrowth of that causes a infection.
And as a result, you can get really bad redness, irritation of the skin. It can then become a full-on cellulitis where bacterial infection.
Cellulitis is a potentially serious bacterial skin infection.
Sets in. So it's really important to dry skin folds in order to decrease the likelihood of this happening.
I never would have thought at 34 I'd be living with my father and I'd have no job, have no real money, and just be playing video games all day and eating.
When you're trying to address someone's situation where they're morbidly obese, you have to look at the patient as a whole. You have to look at what are the reasons that contribute.
Like, I think he's trying to say, do they work out, but are they just not unhealthy? Do they just sit down and just eat all day? Like, what is going on? Like, what happened?
What can you do in order to prevent?
Like, how do you prevent it? He's trying to say, like, how do you prevent?
Look at mental health factors. Look at sleep schedules.
Like, guys, I'll admit, I probably don't get as much sleep as I should do in the summer because, sometimes I just stay awake, just watch some YouTube, maybe edit some videos, make some posts on YouTube, all that stuff. But, yeah, sleep is important. You can't just go a few days without sleeping and just be like, oh, this is gonna be okay. Because, like, sometimes, I make some YouTube videos, sometimes edit some YouTube videos, post some stuff on YouTube videos, all that. But if you don't sleep at all, like, sometimes I go to sleep at 9. 9's when I usually go to sleep. But, like, that's good. Like, that isn't too late. Like, that's probably the average time.
Activities. Like, in general, I'm not against gaming. I love gaming. I consider myself a gamer. But there are times when we can take something that can be potentially beneficial and make it into something that it's not. And this can happen with anything. I mean, it's really the dose decides.
The dose makes the poison. In other words, anything, even water and oxygen, can be toxic if too much is ingested or absorbed into the body. So, there's this challenge with water, like, who can drink the most water. And then this person, she drank the most water, so she wasn't feeling good. So then she went home, she rested, and she never woke up because she drank too much water and there's, like, poison in her brain.
Poison. So having an unhealthy relationship with food, with gaming, all of this can contribute to this ultimate unhealthy lifestyle, which will ultimately decrease lifespan and decrease quality of life. And that quality of life is really what I like to focus on. Because yes, we want to extend lifespan, we want patients to live a long life, but at the same time, I want them to live that life comfortably. I don't want them to be in pain. I don't want them to be in mental anguish because they don't feel like they're connecting with the outside world. And that's what a good doctor, nutritionist, or like I said, any other health professional looks at when addressing these types of problems.
Hey, so I got your food. Okay. He'll tell me what to get him, and I'll come right back a lot of times in case that's too much food. But I'll get it for him and bring it to the house and put it right in front of him. I don't want to call him an enabler, but I mean, sometimes it's really the way, it seems that it is. I'm not buying the groceries. I'm not buying the frozen pizzas. I'm not buying the chicken wings. There's someone facilitating the food coming in, and it's not me.
I mean, there's partial truth in that. I don't think that's a valid excuse for someone to make. If my patient told me, hey, look, it's not about me, I'm not the one doing the shopping. At the end of the day, there's a level of personal responsibility involved in all this. But to solely place the blame at the foot of others is not a healthy pattern. Not because it's right or wrong, but because it takes away control from you. And when you take away control from you, you actually create more of a problem where you feel like you're helpless, you have to do it, and there's nothing you can do to change it. When that is not, in fact, reality, there are things you can do to change it. There are conversations to be had with your quote-unquote enablers, because the foods that are being consumed are A, unhealthy foods, B, there's salt being added to already very salty foods, the portion sizes are tremendous, and I saw the father mention tea. That tea has so much excess calories from the added refined sugars. Like, that's even worse than eating a huge amount of food, because at least when you eat the food you can feel satiated and there's some fiber and other nutrients in there. But when you're just drinking sugar water, which is essentially what a lot of these sweet teas are, in mega amounts, you're just adding weight.
So I made it outside of this trough currently because I cannot physically bathe in a sit-down bathtub or stand-up shower area.
So he has to basically get his own little tub just for him to take a bath. That's sad.
Because I'm a bigger guy with like folds and flaps, and I have to move around like almost like a pig in a way, and wallow and roll over to get like the back of my leg. I have to lift up literal like pieces of skin. It's just a super difficult process.
There's a lot of adjustments that are needed to be made in someone's home when they are of this excessive weight. There's also adjustments that need to be made in the hospital. I've had patients who are morbidly obese who unfortunately did not fit in our CAT scan machines and our MRI machines. And in those scenarios, A, you try and look at the facilities around you if there's an option to transfer the patient that someone does have a larger piece of equipment. And then there's sometimes been situations where we literally have to contact our local zoo who have really large machinery for some of their larger animals, and we use those. It's not a pleasant conversation to have with patients, but it goes to show how there's a lot that needs to be done in order to make sure that we're keeping folks like this healthy.
This is coming. Wow.
Alright, so he's gone somewhere to check out.
This is coming. When I weigh myself in my house, I do it butt naked. Just use the bathroom, number one, number two. And I've like tried to throw up the last meal I ate so I can lose any pounds. Now I'm there wearing clothes. I'm kicking off my flip-flops. Anything I can get off of my body to lower the number, because I know it's going to be shockingly big.
It's 711.8.
Now, I know some bariatric offices that try and save this step for later in the visit. Reason being is, whether this patient is approximately 500, 600, 700 pounds, we know that there's going to be a benefit to doing the procedure. So we can already lead with that assumption. A lot of times it's traumatic to step on this scale and look at the number, so we try and perhaps save it for not the first thing you do when you walk into the office, because that alone can cause people to not want to come in to see the doctor in the first place.
We're at a critical stage here. You're going to die pretty soon, unless something happens here.
Now, I know that's jarring to hear. I understand why. I agree with this approach. I think this is the most successful approach because it's honest. Whether you have a patient who's morbidly obese and is over 700 pounds, or you're recommending a do not resuscitate order for a family member. Those are difficult conversations. The truest, most honest, non-judgmental way you could deliver that news is going to be the most successful way you could deliver that news.
With you, the route we're going to go down towards is a sleeve gastrectomy.
Okay.
All right? So, this is your stomach.
I gotcha.
All right? What we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to remove this outer portion of your stomach right here. There will be a metabolic switch that gets flipped in your body when you have this surgery. Your body will want to lose weight.
When Dr. Proctor was going over to surgery, it was pretty scary, only because I fear surgery in general.
Understandable that he's apprehensive.
It makes sense that he fears surgery. Because they go into your body, try to make sure everything's okay. And they take stuff out. It's just like they go into your body. They cut your body open. If they cut your body open, it's reasonable for you to be scared about it. They cut your body open, so it's reasonable that you're scared.
Apprehensive. Surgery comes with legitimate risks, even if it's bariatric surgery. That being said,
Bariatric surgery involves making chances to your digestive system to help you lose weight.
being 700 plus pounds carries way more risks than the surgery. And that's how we decide whether or not
Sure.
a procedure, a medication, a treatment is good for a patient.
Why don't you tell me what does a normal day of eating look like for you prior to when you saw Dr. Proctor?
So like, we're waking up at like 12.
Okay.
and then probably ordering food from the hot dog house.
What do you usually order?
On like a normal day, it might be like 20 wings or like 10 tenders, and then it would be like a small order of tater tots and a large sweet tea.
This size cup?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're doing 32 ounces of sweet tea.
My lunches were either a taco salad or like tacos.
Okay.
But it was, not a lot of sour cream.
And then were you having dinner?
It could be anything from like a big thing of fried chicken or pizza. We'd have like not occasionally, but sometimes.
So Dr. Proctor wants you to lose 60 pounds by the time he sees you next.
The reason why all of these guidelines are in place about having patients lose a certain amount of weight before the surgery, having them see a psychologist, running blood tests, is you want to set the patient up for success. If we just willy-nilly did bariatric surgeries on everybody who is obese, it would be problematic, because what happens is when you do the surgery, there's very specific protocol you have to follow. If you overeat with a smaller stomach, you can actually cause surgical issues. You can rupture your stomach. You can cause vomiting. It can cause mental havoc. It can lead you to going into a dark depression. We really try and select our patients that we think are going to have the best outcome from the bariatric surgery instead of just recommending it for all.
So I've hired a personal trainer for the first time in my life. This is the first time I've been to the gym in a long time, and I am a little bit nervous. Hey, what's up, man?
Casey, right?
Yeah. Dex?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
When I watch programs like this on TLC, my one issue that I have is a lot of this is not reality for most Americans. I don't want someone who is potentially wanting to lose weight to look at this and think that unless I have this, I can't lose weight. It's not true. You don't need the diesel personal trainer in order to lose the weight. Any kind of physical activity when you're going from zero will help. Also, being kind to yourself and not pushing yourself too hard in the beginning is also really important. With someone who is 700 plus pounds, you really want to make sure that you're focusing on injury prevention. It's very easy to overload joints, to pull and hurt muscles, and as a result, you can set someone back. So it's really about starting slow.
We're gonna do arm rotations.
Okay,
15 each way.
So they're doing arm rotations.
Good.
He's trying his best. He's trying his best, so that's good to see.
I had Casey move his own body weight so he can establish a correlation between what he's accomplished already and what he can expect himself to do in the future.
So he's
Someone might look at that and say, that's not exercise. Yes, it is. His heart rate's going up. His breathing rate's going up. This all automatically kicks up the metabolism, helps him prepare to meet the challenge. And he's been sedentary. You can't push too hard too fast. You can put too much strain on the heart and even cause a heart attack. There's actually a type of heart attack called a type 2 cells in the heart tissue die due to oxygen supply. Cardiac infarction that happens as a result of not a pure blockage, but simply because there was so much strain on the heart that there wasn't enough circulation going, that actual damage has occurred.
It's been 3 months since my surgery, and I feel good. Little things are changing in me that I didn't really expect to change so quickly. As I accomplish more, my self-esteem is rising, so I feel like I can do more. So it's just a good feeling. Started this journey at 711 pounds, and today I have to say that I'm 525.
I think it's great when you start seeing your goals pan out, and that's how motivation happens. It's seeing your hard work be paid off, and it might not happen off the first, second, or third time, but as you continue, you keep seeing that you're making improvements, whether it's after a week, after a month, or after a year. And even for myself, I had a buddy that was in the ICU recently and had a lot of neurological deficits, and as he was slowly recovering, he would call me each day, upset the fact that he wasn't making progress, and I had to remind him, write down what your deficits are today. Do it next week, do it the following week, and then each time you're upset, look back and see how much you've improved. When you look in every hour by hour, day by day, sometimes it's easy to lose.
I have a huge question though. What happens if you don't improve?
How much
YouTube don't demonetize me for saying what happens if you don't approve, okay?
you
Improve.
accomplish, but when you really spread it out and think in scale, which we as humans are not good at doing, you get to see
Okay.
accomplishment.
Oh, okay. Okay. So,